Day 3 of the YSL Rico trial ended with mistrial talks, as during the Rico trial today, the first prosecution witness was called to the stand, as when the prosecutor was questioning the witness, it would further prove that these prosecutors seem very lost, as they're having a hard time even asking questions to their own witnesses.
As it relates to a musical artist's words, is there any crime in saying words?
There are certainly potentially crimes in spoken words.
All right. Now, I'm not talking about crimes being described in words. I'm speaking of, is it a crime to speak the words?
As a generality, no. Outside of...
Your Honor, that was the answer to the question. And...
So it's non-responsive, is that what you're saying? Okay, I'll sustain this as non-responsive.
Have you ever sought to arrest anyone for speaking words in a song?
No, ma'am.
With so much confusion going on, the judge would then call for a recess. The cameraman inside of the courtroom would then zoom out of frame for recess. However, while doing so, he would accidentally turn the camera to where the jurors are sitting. As DJ Akademiks would report, members of jury were shown on live stream, and people believe this is why the judge called the attorneys to his chambers for a potential mistrial. As reports would then come out from No Jumper, fans are already identifying jury members on Young Thug's trial after the courtroom camera accidentally revealed their faces, where someone would comment, "I know that guy with the glasses on. That's Dante Wilson. He is on the jury." As his comment would then actually be liked by DJ Akademiks, lawyers outside of the case stated they wouldn't be surprised of a mistrial due to one more reason, which is what Young Thug's lawyer did yesterday, as Thug's lawyer ripped all of the prosecutor's evidence right now by sharing the truth behind his team affiliation, his lyrics, and even what the Young Thug rap name even means. To understand it all, we need to dive deep into his opening statement, where he would explain what the Young Thug rap name actually means.
That was not what Thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path. If he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God. That's what Thug means.
Everybody on this jury were not allowed on the jury if they knew exactly who Young Thug or his music was. So this entire jury panel have no idea what Young Thug actually stands for, so them hearing this from his lawyer is actually a positive. The following argument was that his lawyer would break down what the song Pushing P stands for, as apparently it means pushing positivity.
That is a P. Jeffrey's fingers are down. And what you'll learn is that Jeffrey just released, with Sergio Kitchens, performed known as Gunna, a song that is wildly popular. It's around the globe. It's called Pushing P. And it's positivity. It means any circumstance you're in, if you think positively about something, you can make it through. You're pushing positivity. You're pushing P. Jeffrey is showing the P.
With Thug's lawyer sounding very confident as well as convincing, a lot of the jury members actually believe what he's saying, as Thug's lawyer would then follow it up, breaking down some of the lyrics in Thug's songs. As a report would go and read, the state says that when Thug says 24M on a man, that he was actually putting a bounty towards someone. However, in reality, according to Thug's lawyer, Young Thug was rapping about the $24 million diamond Lil Uzi Vert got into his forehead.
It is the rapper with the surgically implanted pink diamond in his forehead. The police bury this. The prosecution buries this. I will show it to you. Now, the evidence will show, they may say, oh, it's on. We made a mistake. There's no mistakes here. This is a big deal. This This is a bill of indictment in Fulton County, Georgia in
Objection,
2023.
Your Honor. Argument.
Many of you watching this video obviously know what a lot of Young Thug's lyrics are truly about. However, this entire jury has no idea. So the important part is that Young Thug's lawyer just stays confident and makes everything sound believable, which it does. Not to mention, this jury panel is likely elderly people, so they'll have a higher chance of believing everything, as Thug's lawyer would then finish his statement telling the jury that Young Thug is a Studio G and not the type of man to go out and break crimes like he says in his lyrics in the real world.
These are not unique and say, oh, that's the Donovan Thomas Tom. Jeffrey sings about cars all the time. He names all different cars. They just pulled out the top. These are common themes. This is, you will learn, studio. They're in the studio. They are creating music for us to listen to.
With Young Thug's lawyer doing an amazing job, having the judge also angry and not liking the prosecutors makes Young Thug look even better. 30 minutes into opening arguments on day one, it would be announced judge in the Young Thug trial isn't happy with the state because they never turned in all of the slides they planned on using in their opening argument.
Is there anything else you're going to use in opening you haven't shown to defense counsel? He's telling us. Well, I said that. I told you to do that a week ago. Because here's what I told you was going to happen. I've got a jury that's out right now that's being interrupted. And Mr. Williams, you should have made your motion or should have told me about that an hour ago or when you found out about it. Not hijack me at the bench about that. You did what you had to do, but I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about any of this. Because this is stuff we could take care of before our jury comes in. And that makes you all, lessen your ability as advocates and lessen our ability for this jury to go ahead and get this case seamlessly. This is what I told you all was going to happen. So,
as the judge stated in the start of the clip, he already told the prosecutors to be ready last week and to have all of their slides and evidence ready for opening day, and they didn't.
Your Honor, we would ask because we would ask that all of this be reserved for the 16th because this all came up in September. You said you allowed us to.
I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Fulton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot more on that date because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice that we just kind of keep, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
As this all started due to the prosecutors trying to sneak in 200 plus witnesses to trial to basically testify against Young Thug and reveal exactly what crimes that Jeffrey, aka Young Thug, committed. As the trial is already stressing the judge out so much to the point where he had to bring in a service dog to help him calm down, as the prosecutors are just not really doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Here behind me is this bell that starts jingling, all right? And if you hear a jingling sound like a bell, please don't think that I'm doing anything creepy up here, all right? I have a service dog behind me. His name is Jack. I think some of you may have seen him already. He lives the best life ever. He's pampered. He's really, and he is a Labrador Retriever. He's about almost 2.5, 3 years old at this point in time. So, but if you hear that bell, that's him moving around, all right? He doesn't bark. He rarely gets interested in what's going on, so he might come up here and look, but that's about it, all right? Don't bring him any food either, okay? All right? He is spoiled rotten, so please don't try and throw any food back here behind me or anything like that. He doesn't need anything else, okay? But if you hear that bell, hear that sound,
as it really seems the only good enough evidence that the prosecutors gave the courtroom on this day was that they would reveal that when YSL members get into sticky situations or any issues in the streets, the YSL members would have to call Young Thug's sister to relay the message to Thug, as all of the YSL street members were not allowed to have contact with Young Thug for obvious reasons.
You will hear evidence that when members and associates of YSL got in trouble, got locked up, the first person they called was either this defendant or one of his family members. Now, they didn't call him directly because he knew and they knew that he needed to have distance between himself and the crimes members and associates of YSL were committing on behalf of. So they would reach out to his sister and have his sister reach out to somebody else and eventually get back to King Slime, as they called him.
With all of this confusion going on, this is why Young Thug's own girlfriend would hop on a podcast this week where she would reveal about marrying Young Thug once he gets out of jail, which could be a lot sooner than you may think.
Do you think that marriage is the next step for you, Young Thug?
I mean, when he gets out of jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of us want a jail wedding. Yeah, but I feel like he definitely wants to be married, and I feel like I do too.
Do you ever imagine life outside once he's out?
For sure. We talk about it all day. Okay. All day long. I mean, I feel like being imaginative can help every human being on earth not lose your mind. Mm-hmm. You know, it is like a little slight state of delusion.
As of this current point in time, the only evidence that Thug's lawyers really need to be is all based around the rap lyrics that Young Thug has made music about. As DJ Akademiks would report, Judge in Young Thug case allows the use of 17 different lyrics against him and his co-defendants.
Is going to admit for the limited purpose thus far, the state's request to apply the evidence statute is written. I'm going to conditionally admit particularized lyrics, and those lyrics are found within states 18. There's 17 sets of lyrics. I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid.
As the first set of lyrics read out loud in court was the lyrics, "My boys really be slime and we committing them crimes. Hop out and hit, you wanna be slime, go catch you a body." As these are lyrics from Young Thug's hit song titled Really Be Slime featuring Y&W Melly. Now, prosecutors allege these lyrics relate to the recruitment process of joining YSL, where you have to commit a very serious crime in order to join. With the second set of lyrics being, "Honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold. Pick him off from the balcony, YSL wipes a nose." As this is in the track titled Ew, where this is relating to a crime where YSL members targeted an op while he was outside on his balcony of his apartment building. As the next set of lyrics would be the most serious ones, where Young Thug raps the lyrics, "I went at his mommy, now he no longer mentions me." As this is in the track titled Bad Boy featuring Juice WRLD. As these lyrics are related to the YFN Lucci vs Young Thug beef, where Young Thug wanted to put a quick end to it, so he had YSL members go after Lucci's mother.
Well, he's featured on the song, so the song is actually by an artist that goes by the name of Juice WRLD, and it's featuring Mr. Williams. The song is called Bad Boy, and Mr. Williams says, "I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mentioned me." Now, this would seem, again, insignificant if you're just looking at these words. However, in this case, in the height of the 2050 between the YSL gang and we have cases in which individuals of YSL the opposition's mother's house. Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. We have two incidents in January 22 of 2015 and January 26 of 2015, where his mother's home, Mr. Bennett's mother's home,